When you think about humanity's greatest achievements, what comes to mind? Well, today, we're diving into one of the big ones, the incredible story of how we learned to fly. The journey from a simple balloon to the massive jets that crisscross the globe, it's just an amazing tale of pure human ingenuity.
For basically all of human history, flight was just a dream, right? You see it in old myths, you see it in Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks, but that's all it was, a dream. So what changed? What was that first crucial step that finally got us off the ground and into the air?
Well, the first real answer probably isn't what you'd expect. It didn't come from trying to build complicated flapping wings. Nope, it came from a much, much simpler idea: floating. The very first technology that got us into the sky was the balloon, kicking off the age of what we call lighter-than-air flight.
And once the idea was out there, things moved fast. In 1783, you have the Montgolfier brothers in France making that first historic untethered hot air balloon flight. And boom, almost overnight, ballooning becomes this huge craze all over Europe. But there was a major catch. You were totally at the mercy of the wind. The 1800s gave us steerable airships, or dirigibles, which was a big step up for sure, but it still wasn't true independent flight.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. You had these two different paths to the sky. On one hand, you have lighter-than-air craft, which basically float using buoyancy, kind of like a boat in water. But the real dream, the ultimate goal, was heavier-than-air flight, using wings and engines to create lift. And the absolute key difference between them? Control. One just drifts wherever the wind takes it. The other could, in theory, go absolutely anywhere. And figuring out that control piece was the next giant hurdle.
And that's where Orville and Wilbur Wright come in. See, a lot of inventors at the time were obsessed with one thing: building a powerful enough engine. But the Wrights, they were different. They figured out that power was only half the equation. They realized that a plane with a huge engine but no way to control it was basically just a really dangerous unguided missile. The real secret wasn't just getting into the sky, it was being able to control the machine once you were up there.
And this was their masterpiece. The single most important thing the Wright brothers gave us was the three-axis control system. This was it. This was the key that finally unlocked powered, heavier-than-air flight. It's what turned an airplane from an unpredictable kite into something a pilot could actually command.
So how does it actually work? Let's break it down real quick. You've got three main movements. Pitch is tilting the nose up or down. Roll is banking the wings left or right, super important for turning, kind of like how you lean a bike. And yaw is pointing the nose left or right. What the Wrights did, which was so brilliant, was they created a system of warping wings and a movable rudder that let a single pilot control all three of these things independently at the same time. Nobody had ever cracked that before.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that shift in thinking. What happened in 1903 wasn't just about a machine lifting off the ground for a few seconds. It was a demonstration of complete mastery. For the very first time, a human wasn't just a passenger being carried by the wind. They were a true pilot in total command of their aircraft.
And once that fundamental problem of control was finally solved, well, the floodgates just burst open. The 20th century saw this absolute explosion of innovation. Aviation went from a little wooden fabric curiosity to the backbone of our modern world at a pace that is just breathtaking.
Just look at this jump in speed. The Wright Flyer, it topped out about 30 miles per hour. Fast forward just 35 years, and a World War II Spitfire is flying over 10 times faster. 30 years after that, the Boeing 747 is cruising along at nearly 600 miles per hour. This wasn't just a slow, steady improvement. This was a flat-out technological revolution, pushed forward by 2 world wars and, of course, the invention of the jet engine.
But here's the thing. This story isn't really just about faster machines and cool technology. The really profound part, the biggest impact of the century of innovation, was how it completely remade human society itself.
Think about it. Aviation literally shrank our planet. Before airplanes, the world was this collection of really distant places, separated by weeks, sometimes months of hard travel. But afterwards, those same vast oceans and continents could be crossed in just a matter of hours. This didn't just change how we travel, it completely changed our idea of distance, of culture, and even of time.
And today, aviation is just woven into everything we do. It's the engine of global transportation, letting us visit family or do business on the complete opposite side of the world. It's the backbone of global commerce, flying everything from fresh flowers to critical medical supplies anywhere they need to go. It connects us, helps in emergencies, and lets us explore the most remote corners of our world. So when you step back and look at the whole arc, it's just staggering.
We went from dreaming about flying to floating around in balloons to finally mastering controlled flight. And then we used that to build a global network that connects billions of people. It really is one of the most incredible success stories in all of human history.
Which kind of leaves you with one last question to chew on, right? Aviation was the tech that connected the entire world in the 20th century. Looking ahead, it really makes you wonder, what's going to be the next great leap forward? What's the next big thing that will connect us all in ways we can't even imagine yet?